This presentation documents the journey of a social care worker through the course of their career development and also provides further information on the development of their personal and professional identity. The presentation will include the following: the practitioner and the career development, as well as the current role. Also training, threshold concepts, rural practice, dual relationships, and vicarious trauma will be explained in further detail. Finishing the presentation off with their professional identity, evidence-based research, and self-care. But the practitioner involved is a 36-year-old female working in the field of social work for over 11 years. She has a master's degree in social work, in which she completed in Galway, as well as a degree in social care practice. She began the course of her career as a social care professional in Rushmore Nursing Home in Galway for 4 years, before working as a social worker for children and family services through the HSC until now. Through the children and family services, she works in the foster care sector, in which she is a service to children whose parents cannot provide care and support for them in their own families. She is the person who has overall responsibility for the safety and welfare of the child in care. Her key roles as a social worker for the HSC include placing children into foster care, visiting children in care, creating care plans, promoting the child's best interest, and ensuring protection of abuse of the child. She regularly engages and continues to develop her skills through training courses such as Children First, Leadership and Management Support, First Aid, Manual Handling, Assist Training, and Alcohol Drug Awareness Training, as well as Child Protection and Family and Community Training. Land and Mayer suggested that threshold concepts is based on opening up a new and previously inaccessible way of thinking about something. They have 5 key features, being transformative, integrative, troublesome, bounded, and irreversible. They also suggested that extension of language and discourse transforms not just understanding but often identities and worldviews. The practitioner I interviewed spoke about her own threshold experiences while working in the children and family services sector. She spoke about how she doubted her own self and that she thought about the level of responsibility and demand that she had for the children in care. She found that sometimes it was important to create a distance to be able to really connect and really to understand her role. She found that to deal with the emotional part of the job and to integrate this with an intellectual understanding is a very difficult thing. The importance of rural practice theory suggests most issues in rural areas are to do with relationships, low service provisions, deprivation, and social exclusion. However, the practitioner being interviewed did not really find this to be a big problem throughout her own personal career, as she regularly worked with clients from urban areas. However, she expressed the need for more awareness on the clients in rural areas who perhaps do not have access to different social services. She found it easier also as she did not know many people within the area she was based. Dual relationships. The issue of boundary and dual relationships has been a major issue in psychological practice. Ethic complaints and dual relationships and boundary crossings continue to rise both in nature and variety. As a social care practitioner, this can be very challenging to the practitioner's emotional state and professionalism. The practitioner I interviewed discussed her experience of dual relationships and boundaries with the family of whom their child was removed from care. This amounted in the parents of the child continuously trying to contact the practitioner, sometimes throughout the night when the practitioner was not available. The practitioner in this situation had to discuss further and in more detail to the family about her role as a social worker and the boundaries of their relationship. According to Turcotte, vicarious trauma occurs when we are affected by the experiences and trauma stories of survivors of trauma. Vicarious trauma can grow with time, but is not necessarily a sign of weakness. Vicarious trauma can create emotional exhaustion, depersonalization, as well as a lack of self-motivation. When asking the practitioner about vicarious trauma, the practitioner had expressed that she had experienced quite a lot as dealing with children who have not possibly been abused, neglected, or sexually assaulted on a daily basis was extremely challenging and upsetting. The practitioner had said that those experiences caused her to be unable to sleep and continue with her own personal life, to the point where she had to take counselling and psychiatric sessions to help her deal with her stress and anxiety. Professional identity can be defined as an individual's self-definition as a member of a profession and is associated with an attachment of a professional role. The practitioner interviewed considered herself most definitely a professional, but believed that as a professional and to really enhance on her identity, she shall continue to grow, to develop her skills and qualities, and to continuously focus on further training, supervision, reflection, and advice from others. When I asked a practitioner, is there anything you feel you would have liked to learn in college that would have helped you now in your career? The practitioner said that she would have liked to learn more about how self-care and how to manage her own emotions in order to be kind to herself and to feel better about herself, about the decisions that she makes. Evidence-based research, and in relation to this, Dr. David Sackett suggested that evidence-based research was the consensuous, explicit, and judicious use of current best practice in making the decisions about the care of the individual patient. The best research evidence is usually found in clinical relevant research that has been conducted using the sound methodology. The practitioner interviewed explained how she is continuously required to conduct research as part of her role as a social worker. She said that she would combine well-researched interventions with clinical experience and ethics in order to guide and to inform the delivery of treatments and services. Self-care is something to be found extremely difficult as her high-demand job. She felt that after her experience of vicarious trauma, that when she returned to her job, she would value and respect self-care a lot more, as she understood the importance of taking care of yourself and your own health. My advice from the social care practitioner I interviewed is to just be yourself, to grow throughout your career, and to be willing to learn new experiences in life.